If you're a registered dietitian with a desire to make 6 or 7 figures a year, meaning $100,000 or $1 million a year from your online business, it's absolutely possible. You can make this type of money whether you're wearing pajamas all day, traveling the world, or you're taking a couple days a week off. The secret to being able to grow and scale this type of income and impact includes having the ability to understand how to market and sell your services. So in today's video, I'm going to walk you through a day in the life of a dietitian following the Dietitian Boss method to give you some inspiration. I'm Libby Rotschild, the founder and CEO of Dietitian Boss. I created the proprietary system, the Dietitian Boss method, that shows registered dietitians step-by-step how to start, grow, and scale a virtual private practice. Now, in today's video, I'm going to share a day in the life of a dietitian, that's me, following the Dietitian Boss method. Now, I practice what I preach, so I follow the method that I created as well as our team, and I'm going to share what exactly does that look like. Now, I start off my day around 7:30 or 8. I am an early riser, not like a 5 a.m. riser, but I do wake up early, and I love actually getting the most urgent, focused, important creative work done earlier on in the day. And I find that that's when my energy levels best match up with putting a lot of focus and attention to projects and business development. Now, I start off the day with a cup of coffee. I do like strong coffee, like as strong as possible, dark coffee. I don't take any sugar. Sometimes I'll take a light cream. And I also drink that coffee in the Dietitian Boss mug, of course. Let's call it the Dietitian Boss potion. How does that sound? Comment below. Let me know if there's another name that would better fit for the coffee that I drink every morning. Now, I'm really picky on my coffee and I don't like anything light. So the coffee has to be really strong and really bold. I also have a light breakfast in the morning. And as I mentioned, I like to focus. I like to block out my mornings so I don't do anything that's not business development. Now, on some mornings, I will meet with our COO, our Chief Operating Officer, Director of Operations, Sarah, and we'll go over some management on the tail end of my morning. But I do make sure that I block off the morning so I can really focus on deep work. Now, if you're in your business and you're not spending time and attention focusing on business development, meaning strategy, looking at key metrics and numbers and working on financial modeling and projects, you definitely want to make sure that you're carving out time to do that on a regular basis in your business. And then after you're doing it regularly, you want to identify what's the best type of day that works for your schedule and your energy levels. Where I assume a lot of us like to do those things in the morning, some of you might be a little bit different and you want to choose what time of day fits with the activity that you need to get done to make sure that you can match your energy levels with the tasks that you need to get accomplished. Now, in the Dietitian Boss method, I do recommend step-by-step how to time manage because it's really imperative as a business owner, right? We're not an employee, we are a business owner, that we learn how to manage ourselves. You have to be able to manage your schedule. And one of the tactics that I love and teach in the Dietitian Boss method includes time blocking. And so time blocking means that you have a set amount of time. As I mentioned, my mornings, that might be 7:30 or 8 a.m. until 10 a.m. or 10:30 a.m. And that's a dedicated time to work on business development. Now that might be financial modeling, working on the Dietitian Boss method itself, because I'm constantly updating and iterating on my process. And during that time, I don't focus on other things, right? So I'm not taking phone calls. I'm not checking emails. I'm not looking at our project management system. I'm not creating content for Instagram. I'm focusing solely on the task at hand during that time. It's a great way to help you focus. Now, another example of time blocking might be that you decide you want to take care of emails and invoicing and administration in your business every day or 2 days a week during your lunchtime. It's a great way for you to make sure that you're getting something done and that you're organizing yourself. If you're practicing this tactic already, comment below and let me know. And if you want to learn a little bit more about time management and any kind of tactics, or you want to learn more about how you can time block in your schedule, just let me know below and I can do another video on it. I do work out most mornings, so I'll do a combination of resistance training and cardio. So I do work out right now about 8 a.m., but sometimes I'll work out at 9 a.m., so I can switch it up a little bit, but I do prefer the morning sessions. So I'll do about 2 or 3 days out of the work week. So Monday through Friday, I'll work out in the morning, and then definitely a Saturday, Sunday workout. I do prefer to work out outside as much as possible because I don't love being cooped up all day, but I also like it when the weather's a little bit warmer. And what I do to include everybody and share my messaging and connect with my followers is I take a selfie when I'm running outside or when I'm working out so that I can connect with other dietitian bosses. And I'll use the hashtag show your face, and I'll ask you to show your face and share what you're up to so that you might get a chance to be featured by our feed. And also you can build that know, like, and trust factor with your audience. Because if you're not showing up and you're not showing up regularly and people don't understand who you are, what you do, and what you represent, they're less likely to buy from you. So people buy from other people, not logos or robots. Humanizing your brand and finding a way to connect with others is a fantastic way for you to put yourself top of mind when it comes to making sales. Also, it's a really great way for you to build your confidence. The way I got started in this business and created the Dietitian Boss Method was by documenting my life. I showed my face, sharing what I was up to in my clinical office as I was creating 7 streams of revenue and teaching and speaking. I simply shared my life, and I shared what I was lecturing about. I shared the curriculums I was creating, and that helped create this business today. So I suggest for you to share whatever it is you have going on, even if you're just watering your plants. And then let people get to know your personality. Let them get to know your passions. Let them get to know what got you excited about nutrition and what topics you're interested in learning about. Now, how you prepare for work says a lot, because preparing and thinking ahead and planning is the secret ingredient to success. I have spent a tremendous amount of time defining my role and the roles of people in my company. And this helps me have a lot of clarity when I get to my business development sessions in the mornings and I'm looking at what needs to get done in the business. Because as the CEO, my job is to drive the ship. So I have defined very clearly what my role is today, and that doesn't mean it's going to be the same thing in a year from now. So my role does evolve, and it has evolved since I started. You might have heard the joke that when you first start your business, you are your own editor, you are your own assistant, you are your own sales associate until you can hire those roles, and that's true. And then when you do hire those roles, there's a lot more complexity that comes with managing those roles. Right now, I define my role as being the lead coach. So I am the one that does provide coaching, as well as I monitor and evaluate the progress and the coaching of our staff to ensure that they're following and teaching based on the Dietitian Boss Method, and that they are employing coaching strategies and making sure that they're asking probing questions and they're employing empathy to our clients. Second responsibility I have in this company would be sales, making sure we are hitting our targets. Yes, we do have targets. As a business, we set goals and make sure we work towards them. And then we evaluate our progress based on our last year's progress. So we take a data-driven approach. Because I'm responsible for sales, that means I am the sales manager, and I do have people in sales roles under me, and I manage their progress, and I meet with them, and I coach them, and I'm always looking at the numbers, and I'm looking at the sales process to see how we can improve it. Marketing. I am in charge of creating these videos. Now, there are some areas of marketing I outsource, such as the editing. I am still creating content on Instagram, and we also outsource some content creation as well for our clients. So when it comes to marketing, I'm in charge of much of marketing, and we also do have help in that role, especially when it comes to the administration component of marketing. So that's well defined and documented, and we have processes for different roles in the company that can support us with our marketing efforts. I am in charge of the podcast, YouTube, and Instagram. But again, we have guests on the podcast. We have co-hosts. Soon we'll have people here on YouTube also making some videos with me, which will be really fun. And then if you follow me on Instagram, you'll see it's a hodgepodge of our clients. And then we're going to get our staff more involved as well. Our COO, Sarah, and I pop on lives on Thursdays and share some tips and tricks and tactics to help get you motivated and excited in your private practice as well. And we always follow the Dietitian Boss Method and teach it to be consistent. I am in charge of culture. So what that means is, how do we define our business as being different from another business? And we have core values, which I've spoken about a lot. I've done several podcast episodes about the values that we've created and that we hold our staff to on a regular basis. And so being that my job is to embody culture, I lead and role model that culture. And I spend a lot of time recognizing staff and working with staff related directly to our core values. I am responsible for the proprietary system that is the Dietitian Boss Method. I'm responsible, of course, I've created it. I'm also responsible for iterating, so making adjustments on the method, advancing the method, and the entire customer journey. So what is the value proposition for our offers that our clients get benefit from? That is my sole responsibility, making sure that things make sense and making sure our clients are getting outcomes and making sure that the way I've broken down the process to which our clients get results is clear. Now, I do have a background in instructional design. I created curriculums for 4 years. I created 2 curriculums for 2 IRB approved research studies studies that didn't end up getting published because I quit my clinical job before we had the chance to actually publish the content. But I have a background. So for 4 academic years, I did teach curriculums to medical residents and to dental residents and pediatric residents. So creating programs and instructional design and learning about the adult learning continuum is something that I'm not only interested in, but I actually have a background as a consultant doing that. Finally, strategy. So it is my responsibility for driving the ship. Where are we going as a company? What is our vision? Not just our annual goal, but what is our long-term 5-10-year legacy goal? So not only do I define that, I also create financial models, I work with the team, and then I lead them towards that direction and constantly remind them about the mission of this company and the vision and how we are working towards that mission and vision with our culture. The mission of this company, Dietitian Boss, is to create more private practice operators while disrupting the field. I say the word disrupting because only 8% of dietitians own a business. And so it's really important that I'm here and my entire team, right? Because it takes a village. I can't do this alone for the goals we have to transform the industry here, the industry of dietetics. Really want to give dietitians the option and empower them to start their business. Whether they want to go 6-7 figures or not, we want to give dietitians the tools, skills, confidence, and framework from the Dietitian Boss method that we know works to support you so that you can align with your nutrition philosophy, so that you can love the work that you do, so you can feel fulfilled, so you can become financially independent, so you can live a flexible life. If you're interested in learning any more specifically about the roles that I have now, of course, they will evolve in the future, and that is the goal as part of my strategy to have my role evolve. Let me know in the comments below, and I can do another video more specifically about my roles. As far as projects that I do throughout the day, we base projects on our long-term vision based on where we want to be in 5-10 years from now and the legacy we want to create in this business, the legacy that I've intended that we create. And we have projects that are created for the whole year. So my Chief Operating Officer, Sarah, and I sit down and we do annual planning, and then we do quarterly planning. And this planning is based on what projects are urgent. So I identify urgent projects, and I absolutely value her opinion as well. And we work together to prioritize projects, and then she does all the tactics when it comes to operations. So she will actually write out what the labor budget is based on those projects. So she'll tell me how expensive those projects are, and we'll adjust the annual budget based on the needs of the company and what the projects will include. And then we can also make sure that we're hitting our targets and we're not going above or below the labor budget, as she's indicated after we speak about the projects that need to get done and the associated labor included. And when I say labor, I mean staff, right? Because we have a coaching company. And then it could be marketing. So if we are hiring people that are helping us with things that could be ads or rolling out anything to expand the messaging of Dietitian Boss, that's something we have to keep in account when it comes to payroll. We use a project management system, and we're pretty diligent about staying on task with our projects. So the idea is we don't set any more than 3 projects a quarter in this business, and we stick with those projects, and the projects are prioritized by me, and Sarah works with me, our Chief Operating Officer. And again, we've got the annual plan so that we've got that big picture overview. We already know the 5-10-year vision of the company. I've crystallized that, and that's been spoken about between me and Sarah. And then she's the one that breaks it down for me. And then she does the project management, and she oversees the project management in the company so that every role in the company is responsible for what they need to do to drive those projects forward. And we use a project management system to make sure everything's getting done. When it comes to where I separate my time, I like to first approach this conversation by thinking what the total hours are per week that I work. Now, it can vary a little bit, but let's just go with 32 hours a week. And if that's the case, then I would divide each category where I dedicate my time and energy to see what are the percentages of said category based on those total hours per week. So if you're taking 32 hours per week and you're spending X amount of time in one category, then you're going to divide that time to total to get a percentage of how much time you're spending. So the categories that I am allotting per week are all based on the responsibilities of my role. As I mentioned, coaching, sales, marketing, team and culture, strategy, and also there was one more, business development, right? So working on my method and projects that drive the business forward. So I would give myself pretty even distribution of all of those categories, although I'd give myself a little bit more when it comes to the method, because I spend quite a bit of time iterating on the method and adjusting it and building it out. And then I spend a little bit less time on team, since Sarah, our Chief Operating Officer, spends more time because she's the manager. But I do want that to change because as we grow, I'll spend more time coaching the team and I'll spend more time with the team. And then I'll spend less time probably coaching. And I will be doing coaching, but on a more limited basis as this company grows. So the time that you allot to each activity that you've allocated for your role in your company will depend largely on your strategy and the vision that you want for your company. And if you don't know what that vision is yet, that's okay. You can give yourself some opportunity for flexibility. And the more that you can think about what impact you want to make, what brings you joy, and what body of work you want to create, you'll get closer to crystallizing what you want that vision to be. And I hope that this video is inspiring because when you hear my vision and how I work with my team to execute that vision, you can then start to get motivated to think about what you want to do and what that would look like. If you want to see more a day in the life of a dietitian in private practice, I do have another video that I created, so I'd like you to watch that and let me know what you think. And if you have any video suggestion ideas of what you want to see in the future, comment below and I'll take it into consideration next time I'm batch recording some videos. We'll see you next time.